Hi Cancer, welcome back to Key Wisdom Tarot. My name is Ruth and I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader. This Cancer is your love reading for the month of March in the form of my Tree of Life reading. So I'm going to draw 6 cards, each corresponding to a different aspect of your energies for the month of March. I've already shuffled, I've already meditated. I'll do a little bit more of that on camera and then we'll get started. Excuse me. Okay, it's not very often that happens. These are your cards. Okay, and this is seemingly a clarifying card as well. The Queen of Wands. I'll talk a little bit about that as we go on throughout the reading. It'll give me a sense of why this has come out. Now, interestingly, I get the impression that it's a confusing month for love, but we have this energy of the Queen of Wands, which is a card of confidence. So it's suggesting to me already that even if you do find this month confusing, you've got to rely on your own intuition. You've got to rely on your true motivations for wanting to go in a certain direction. You've got to rely on your true feelings and instincts, okay? And be confident in them. Be confident enough to trust them. Okay, so the first card here is the overall energy or focus for this month in love for you, Cancer, and that card is a 3 of Wands. So it's our second wand energy of the reading, and we've only just started. Second wand energy, and it's number 3. I love number 3. 3 is a master number. Okay, so 3 is, you know, everything's in threes, isn't it? You know, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and all that stuff. Past, present, future, all that stuff. So the number 3 is actually linked to your ancestors or your angels, your guides, whatever you sort of understand that to be. And this is the energy of the wands. So this energy is time invested, and now it's time to reap the rewards. So there's already a situation that you're involved in that you've already invested time in. It may have been difficult. It may have been a struggle with the 3 of Wands. You know, this is about our... there's an example that I've been using recently, which is imagine the energy and the strength it takes to drag a ship to the shore just using your bare hands. You know, it's difficult, it's a struggle, but once you get it to the water, it's plain sailing. So this is that energy. So it might have been that it has been confusing time for you for love. Okay, so this is saying that the things that you have been doing do actually pay off for you. There is you can anticipate some new energy coming towards you with regard to your love life in whichever sphere really you've wanted to have that energy come through. Okay, so the next card we have is related to what or who you could encounter or experience in the month of March, and that is the 9 of Wands. All fire so far. So if it's a if it's a who you could encounter, we're looking at fire signs all the way here: Aries, Leo, Sag. If it's a what you could encounter, this energy is of the 9 of Wands. All 9s are related to the Hermit energy. The Hermit energy is about actively going within to seek understanding, to seek healing from karmic cycles, etc. All number 9s are related to that. Now, the 9 of Wands, again, related to our energy. The 9 of Wands is related to our second chakra, our sacral chakra. which is where we have our creativity, our imaginings, our motivation, the urges we have to move towards something, etc. They also that is also the area of our bodies where we actually hold on to the traumas, the difficulties, the strains, the slights to our egos, the difficult situations that we've had, the pain that that's caused us. We hold on to that all in this same area. So the things that we really want to go towards, we are fearful of going towards because in the past, I was hurt when I tried to do that, or in the past, it was difficult when I tried to achieve that. So we are fearful. So it's natural, really, with the wand energy to sort of, in all our energies, in all wand cards, there's an element of that fear as well. So the Nine of Wands specifically talks about past trauma, if almost, it's almost you're guarding yourself against the hurt that was previously felt. So this indicates, because we've said, we're going back, really, you've already done some work when it comes to love, something's coming towards you. We can anticipate that with the Three of Wands. The Nine of Wands, we're looking back actively. We're actively looking back. Well, let me show you what happens on the 1st of what's the month? March. Venus enters Aquarius, so obviously the planet of love. And then we've got on the 5th, as you can see, Mercury goes retrograde in Pisces. So we have got and then Venus enters Pisces later in the month on the 26th. So we've got potential with those transits for the past coming back around. Whenever we have Mercury retrograde, we can be looking back at our past, thinking back to our old relationships, thinking back to the old patterns or the old hurts or the old traumas. And it's as if for you, you are almost confronted with a similar energy this month in March that you felt before. So a similar feeling of vulnerability that you felt potentially in a love situation. And that could in the past. And that could be because a new love situation is coming through for you, or a new way of interacting with your current partner is coming through for you. If we see the Knight of Wands, that would give some indication of that would give a bit more clarity and indication. But at this point, we can say that, for definite, there's work already gone into where you end up, if you will, at the end of March when it comes to your love situation. And it might be that whether you're single or in a relationship or whatever your romantic situation is, it might be that you're definitely going to be, in a way, confronted with some difficult emotions from the past. But again, we've got this has fallen out first. I feel like this has fallen out really to sort of give you that encouragement, Cancer, as if to say, listen, whatever comes out in this reading, even if we see the Nine of Swords and you need to have that confidence. You need to understand that you are no longer in this same position, even though the emotions that cause you this trauma, the experiences that caused you this trauma, this post-traumatic stress almost, even though you are sort of potentially confronted with some of those same emotions this month, you have to know and understand that you have done work. You have to know and understand that you can be confident in your ability to move forward and to have the type of relationships that you want. And that actually goes, I don't usually say this in love readings actually, but it actually goes for family as well. I feel like for some of you, there's a family situation that you are healing from. You might be reuniting or coming back in contact again with siblings or with parents, whatever, trying to renew situations. You're not in the same situation now as you were before, even if for example, your mum is very domineering or your dad is very domineering, and so you didn't speak to them, they and blah blah blah. Maybe there's a coming back together, potentially because of health issues. There's a coming back together this month, and you're spending more time with these people. You've not really spent much time with them or with her, etc., family member, and you're going back into that situation almost. You're going back into that situation. There's that thing about arrested development, isn't there, where, we can sort of not move on. We can sort of, when we go back to visit home at Christmas time, we sort of revert back to our, old ways of being when we were children. That's the type of thing that it could be for some of you. You could be having those old emotions stirred up because you're almost confronted with a situation where you have to spend time with family or people that you've not spent time with for a long time for whatever reason, but you have come a long way, and you need to be confident in that, and knowing that even though you might be confronted by these feelings, you should be confident knowing that you are wise enough now to and matured to sort of handle whatever comes your way. Okay, so the next card is your perspective or your past, actually. So this will give us a wow. So this is where you're coming from. So I call this your perspective. On the Tree of Life, number 3 is understanding. It's been a understanding, and this is why we talk about, this is almost sort of what is within, what you know within, what you understand within, so where you're coming from. And it could be because of a past experience, or it could just be because of the learning that you have already done. So this is why we call this, or I call this, your perspective or your past. So your perspective might be, I want a new emotional beginning, and that goes for both scenarios that I've just given. Whether it's you're in a new love situation romantically, or in a new sort of ways of interacting with family, friends, etc. There's a new, even though you're afraid and fearful, you realize you've done a lot of work. So there's a push almost for this new emotional beginning, this new emotional connection, new emotional freedom, because as I've said, you have been dragging that boat for so long, hauling ass for so long, and now you can be confident, even though you may be afraid, and there may be some things that come up from the past that sort of, you know what I mean. You might revisit certain emotions. You get what I mean by that, of past traumas, but you are ready. You are willing, you are wanting a new emotional beginning in a relationship that you've had with people in the past, or with a person in the past romantically, or just for yourself. You're wanting to overcome and recognize that you're overcoming the traumas that you have previously experienced in your life. And it could be many, many, many years ago, or it could be last year or last month. Do you know what I mean? But you've come a long way, and you're ready for a new start. And I've been saying to people, people that my friends and my family, I've seen my family and my friends last week, and I pat everyone on the shoulder and I say, oh, I know January, February has been hard. I said, but I guarantee you 1st of March is going to come, and you're going to feel ready to do something different. You're going to feel renewed. You're going to feel the confusion's going, and you want to move in a direction. The stagnant energy that's been sort of around the end of February, you're wanting to move out of that. And that happens. We've had nothing at all since the 20th of February, astrologically, no transits whatsoever. And then right on the 1st, we get Venus enters Scorpio, and then on the 5th, bang, bang, bang. Look at that first week. So there's a lot going on. So this is well in keeping with the overall astrology of the month of March. And this new emotional beginning is something that you are entering March with. You're wanting a new beginning. You're wanting to go for it. If you've been single, you're like, right. You're like me, Cancer. You're like, right, let's get out and start dating. Or if you've been hurt in the past, you're like, okay, I accept I've been hurt in the past, but I really, and I'm still scared of that, but I know that I've done a lot of work, and I'm feeling, and I know that I can be more confident. Okay. And I know we've had some difficult readings, Cancer, over the past sort of, from November time onwards. So I know we've had some difficult readings, but this is really hopefully showing that you hopefully are making that progress. Yes, you might have been in hermit mode, end of January, February time, you might have been in hermit mode. Maybe some of you have had some illnesses, but now you're ready to sort of start again afresh. Okay, the 4th card is the love potential or love lesson for the month of March. Excellent. We've got the 9 of Cups. I've already spoken about the number 9s, the active diligence, looking within, responding to what we're experiencing, in this sense with our inspiration and our motivation and our instincts and our urges. And with the 9 of Cups, it's with our emotions. So this is saying, look within and really look at what it is you want. Look at what it is you want. And even though, again, we might be fearful, we might be afraid, we might be reluctant, arms folded here, dreams are behind you, even though you might be feeling that way, you want a new emotional beginning. And just as much as I do that 9 + 1 = 10. So there's this, it's almost like you want to go for it. And I'm expecting to see the Knight of Wands, but we don't necessarily have to see it because we've got the stability of the Queen. But anyway, the maturity of the Queen. But anyway, so it might feel a little bit like, oh gosh, can I do this? Am I ready? It's seeming, yes, you are ready. You're ready for it. Even though you're afraid, you're ready to go, and you should be able to anticipate things are going to be all right. Yeah, that was bad relationship, or that was hard before, how my mum treated me or whatever. But things are going to be all right. I can, I think I'm all right. I think I'm all right. I'm scared, but I think I'm all right. That's this energy. So really, the love potential this is the wish fulfillment card. So this is if you want to repair that relationship with family member or past lover, it can be done. If you want to, break out of a relationship where you've been in a long-term relationship and it's been stagnant and it's not been serving you, this can be done. If you want to start dating where you've been single for some years, like me, this can be done. So it's that really what you can have. Yes, there's fear along with it, but there is confidence. Now we've got the challenge. So this is number 5 in this position. The card is the challenge. And the challenge is the King of Cups. So interestingly, that this is the challenge. So let's look at, as I said, it's Pisces season. So we've got Venus going into Pisces on the 26th, which is these cards really, Venus in Pisces. And we've also got Venus, as I said, on the 1st going into Aquarius. So we've got the King of Cups here. Now, remember what I always say to you, the kings are active. The masculine energies are active, which means they're about moving in a direction or acting on feelings, emotions, etc. In this instance, it is emotions. It's the feelings, what we're feeling. And there's fear about acting on those emotions, acting on the things that you want. There's fear. There's an understanding of, okay, I'm feeling confident. I understand that I have come far. I understand that I've done some work. I understand that I've made some progress, even though you're afraid. So it's as if there might be some stalling. You might stall a little bit. You might not, at first sort of know how to sort of push yourself forward or make yourself heard in your relationship or new relationship or whatever the situation romantically that or in love that you're facing. The King of Cups, I always say about him, the river runs deep. The King of Cups can be someone who keeps their emotions to themselves. If this might be you. It might be that, you are actively sitting on on how you're feeling, with another person, for example. So if an ex comes back or whatever the situation, as I said, could be that you're actively sitting on your feelings as opposed to sharing them. And that's only because there's fear. I mean, I would say, remember, this fell out, it flew out for a reason, and usually if you watch me, there's usually clarifying cards, but there's lots of different ones. It wanted to give you this clear message, even though things may be confusing for you or may have been. So let's look at the advice or how to achieve balance in the month of March in love. And we've got the Star card. Oh, this is beautiful. This is such a beautiful card. Healing. It's number 17, 1 + 8. Excuse me. I got to step ahead there, didn't I? 1 + 7 = 8. Remember what I always say to you, 8s are about karmic cycles. 8s are about having experiences externally out in the world that help to change and transform and help to shed light on who we are within, on our soul level, really. And we've got the Star card. So this is basically what you're going through is written in the stars. There's a sense of, with number 1, so it's 1 and 7, yeah? So number 1 is about new beginnings, initiations, which you've already spoken about here. And, that's Aquarius. Anyway, so 1 is about new beginnings, new starts, going in a direction. So very active. Number 7 is about, and I've done that video about the number 7s. I've spoken about that a lot actually in end of February, March. Number 7 is about, on the Tree of Life actually, number 7 excuse me, is endurance. And number 7 is challenges that we must overcome in order to gain wisdom, gain strength, have new experiences, learn, etc. And that means that these new experiences that we have with the number 7, these challenges that we face with number 7 that we must overcome, those challenges really force us to look at who we are authentically and to really express ourselves and present ourselves authentically and be real about what we are experiencing and, you know, be accepting of what we feel about ourselves, etc., etc., etc. So this is saying there's a new cycle coming for you. There's a new way, a new healing path that's opening up for you, one that's destined and one that's, again, look below that Ace of Cups there as well. So really, Cancer, you must be confident. You must be confident and know in the month of March that you are, yes, maybe a little bit trepidatious, a little bit afraid, but also know that you have learnt. You have understood the experiences that you've had. You have understood the experiences of that relationship, the difficult relationship with your family members, or that difficult relationship with that ex-partner or that ex-lover. You know, how it's been to get over that. You have understood and you've grown. So don't sort of restrict yourself. There's yeah, it's grounded, this energy. So you can, as I said, you can anticipate someone coming towards you. Interestingly, as I said, the Venus enters Aquarius on the 1st of March, and this is Aquarius's energy. So, you know, we've got a lot of fire here, but we have got water. This could be a fellow, this could be you. So, you know, if this is your challenge position, remember, so again, it's maybe you're finding it hard to be yourself, you're finding it hard to, you know, to express yourself as you want, but know that you've got that confident foundation beneath you. Okay, so my darling Cancers, I hope you liked that reading. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave me your comments. I read every single comment, so read me your comments, and obviously I'm sure I'll reply because I can't help myself sometimes. If you haven't subscribed, please do. There's a little something there, so you can click on it, and it'll give you notifications of my next uploads, which are probably going to be sometime next week. It might just be a shorter, more condensed reading. I've not decided yet. You can also follow Key Wisdom Tarot on Instagram and on Facebook, Key Wisdom Tarot, for additional information on the cards and the astrology as well. Don't forget to read the astrology below, which gives you basically a breakdown of all these different energies up until obviously the end of the month. It gives you a complete breakdown of sort of what we can expect, etc. And don't forget your bi-weekly general readings up to the 5th of March are still available to view. So I recommend you watch them again if you need any sort of clarity or guidance any further. Thank you so much for all those people that have viewed them already. They did very well, those videos. Okay, my darling Cancers, have a wonderful March, and I'll see you all again very soon with your next general readings. Take care, my darling Cancers. Bye.